Hey guys, welcome to Fit to Fight Republic. This is Hope with FightFlex. This is Bo and his face. Hope you guys are having a great week. Happy Thursday. Today we're going to do, again, a little bit of an overall practice just to get, but I guess we'll focus on the legs and hips a little bit. You might need a belt or towel at the end, just depending on how much time we have. So grab your mat or place on the floor, and we're going to start in tabletop today. Bo's going to manage. Hey guys, Nancy, how are you? Come over here. Right off the bat. So hopefully this won't be terrible. It was fine yesterday with him while I was teaching, but every day is different. So we might have to make some adjustments. So go ahead and start in your tabletop position, spreading your fingers wide. Stop. Spreading your fingers wide. And then go ahead and find some cat and cows. And you can just move really slowly, bringing your chin towards your chest, and then bringing your hips and your chin toward the ceiling, opening up your chest. Nice. Then you can add in some C curves. And start to notice what sensations come up in your body. Notice what's working for you today, what's not. It's been so humid lately. The pressure can, change how you're feeling, how your joints are feeling. And we'll just come back to the center when you're ready. Take a few breaths here. You can take a cleansing breath, so in through your nose, out through your nose, or out through your mouth, or you can, just start to breathe in through your nose, out through your nose. And if you can't see me because dear Bo is blocking the camera, you can certainly just listen to my voice. And that's really the most important part, feeling your body, getting in your body. So we're going to take this left leg, we're going to extend it out, we're going to keep it at our hips height, flexing your toes towards the floor, and just breathe here for a moment. We're going to take that left foot out to the left, and you can either place the whole sole of the foot on the floor or you can stay on the bladed side. Now once you're here, just kind of reacclimate. Remember to bring your belly button to your spine, taking care of your low back, keeping your core engaged. Take a breath. Now we're going to take our left arm over our left ear. And then as you exhale or inhale, you're going to bring it down to that left foot. Bum comes towards the right heel. Again, we're going to inhale, bringing the left arm over to the right. If that doesn't work for you, you can just stay in the stagnant position. And then as you inhale or exhale, left hand comes to left foot, bum goes towards that right heel. I'll do this 2 more times, really stretching through your side body. Exhaling, coming into a forward fold of sort. Last time. This time when we bring the left hand to the left foot, we're going to just pause here for a moment. Really stretching through that back of your left leg. Nice. Coming back to center, left hand joins the right hand. We're going to bring that left leg back in alignment with the hip and then over to the right hand side. And pause here. No movement here, just finding some stillness. Still keeping your core engaged. Notice if you're holding any tension in your face and your jaw. And breathe. Left leg comes back. We'll come back down to our tabletop position. And then you're just going to find some cat and cows here. right leg out. Again, we're going to keep it at hips height to begin with. Toes are pointed down. Core is engaged. Then your right leg comes over to the right. Again, you can stay on the bladed side of your foot, or you can start to flatten out that foot. Pausing here for just a moment. Inhaling your right arm over to the left, over that right ear. As you exhale, right arm to right leg. Again, bringing it over, stretching through your side body. Exhale, right arm to right leg. And 2 more times. Nice. Last time. This time, right hand reaches right foot. We're going to pause here, really stretching through the back side of your leg. Continuing to breathe. And then come back, having your right hand join your left. Right leg comes back into the midline in alignment with that hip, and then over to the left. And breathe. Awesome. And bring that right leg back and then back down to the mat. Making any adjustments. Maybe you move through, again, some cat and cows here. Nice. And then tuck your toes. We're going to lift the knees off the mat and just let them hover for a moment. And then go ahead and push back into your downward facing dog. So if you have really tight legs, you may want to just keep a bend in your knees, pointing your hips toward the ceiling. Core, your belly button is pulled towards your spine. Hips are going to go to the ceiling. And then you just can walk your dog, so bringing one heel to the mat and then the other if you'd like. Again, you can keep a bend in your knees. If your heels don't touch, that's okay. Notice if you're holding your shoulders up towards your ears, and see if you can relax them down your back. And just breathe. We're going to come up to our tiptoes. And then melt your heels back down towards the mat. Again, coming up to your tiptoes. Relaxing your heels back down towards the mat. One more time, we're going to stay on our tiptoes. You're going to start to take your gaze forward, and you're staying on your toes. You're going to start to walk your hands, or walk your feet to your hands. Finding your first forward fold here. We'll just come into ragdoll, so grabbing your elbows. Again, releasing your chest towards your thighs. Releasing your neck. Maybe shake your head yes and no. And just breathe. You can find some gentle movements. Be here for a few rounds of breath, so if you want to start to straighten your legs, you certainly can. Just focus on your body, focus on your breath. Nice. Go ahead and release your bind, release your hands. We're going to come into an inhale, halfway lift. Gaze is forward. Back is straight. Exhale, forward fold. And then slowly roll up to standing, probably slower than I am. Rolling your shoulders down your back a few times. And then forwards. Awesome. Inhale, fingertips to the sky, keeping your core engaged so your ribs and your bum aren't out of whack. Exhale, you're going to bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers if you can. If you can't, grab that strap or a hand towel, and then we're going to point our knuckles towards the floor as we open up our chest. Again, we don't want our pelvis moving back. We want to keep everything in alignment. You may have a slight bend in your knees, And then just start to see if you can open up your chest, maybe bringing your chin toward the ceiling a little bit as we're here. And then see if you can't start to bring your hip points forward, coming into a little bit of a deeper back bend, but don't go so far that you feel like you're not going to be able to maintain it. You want to really keep your core tight here so you're not putting any extra stress on your back. Slowly come back up to standing. Then we're going to come into a forward fold, keeping that bind with your hands. And breathe. Again, your neck should be soft. Should be able to shake your head yes and no. Releasing your hands. Go ahead and bring them down to the floor if that's possible. And then you're going to step your right foot back, coming into a low lunge. And as we're here, check in, see if your knee and your ankle are in alignment. You don't want your knee pushing forward of your ankle. If anything, you can walk your ankle out just a little bit further. If it's in front of the knee, that's okay. You can flatten out your foot. Pausing here for a moment. Then we're going to move into some dynamic stretches with our half splits. So you're going to walk your hands back. If you're up here, because you're already a little bit tighter in your hips and in your legs, that's okay. You're just going to go from your low lunge into your half splits. If you have more room, then it may look more like this. You might keep your hands grounded as you're moving in between these two poses. As you're coming into the half splits, you're going to point your toes toward the ceiling. And remember, any of this hip work is going to be helpful. You know, if you do BJJ or if you're working on your kicks, really opening up or moving towards those head kicks. Yeah. Just a few more times here. Nice. Awesome. So coming back into this low lunge position, really again pulling your belly button to your spine, peel your fingers from the floor so you're going to really feel some strength in your legs. Come all the way up. Make sure that you have a steady base here. We're going to keep that foot flat on the floor. Normally I'll suggest that you curl your toes. You're going to keep that foot flat on the floor. You can bring your hands to your hips. If this doesn't work for you, it's okay to curl your toes, or you can just stay here. This is just, again, a strength building exercise. So we're going to really engage our legs. You're going to rotate them towards each other, and then we're just going to lift that back knee up with that foot still flat on the floor. Just notice the outside angle of the legs here, where that strength comes from, and then release. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, come up, keeping that foot flat on the floor, and then release. Awesome. Hands come back down to the ground, tucking your toe this time, stepping that right foot up to meet your left, forward fold. Again, we're going to inhale, halfway lift as I avoid the furniture. Exhale, fold. Slowly rolling up to standing. Your head is the last thing. Fingertips go to the ceiling. Exhale again, you're going to interlace your fingers, opening up your chest toward the sky. Hip points start to move forward as you come into a back bend. You can even reach your knuckles away from your body this time. Come back to standing. Exhale, forward fold. And breathe. Releasing your hands down to the mat. This time we're going to bring that left leg back. Same thing on this side. Check in. You're going to make sure your ankle is either a little bit forward of your knee or in alignment. Take a breath. Flatten out that back foot. And then we're going to work into our half splits. Again, if you're up here, that's great. Working here, low lunge, half splits. If you have a little bit more room, keeping your hands on the ground, well, that's great too. Just options. Nice. Just a few more times here. Last time. Awesome. And we're going to work again on that strength building. So you can come up to that kneeling position, staying here. If you want to tuck your toe, you certainly can, but I encourage you to try. Maybe bring your hands to your hips. Again, pulling that belly button to your spine, really engaging through your legs, lifting that knee as you keep your foot flat on the floor. And then release. And breathe. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lifting the knee. And then release. Awesome. Hands come back down to the ground, tucking your left toe this time, stepping the left foot up to meet the right. Forward fold. Again, avoiding the furniture. And breathe. We're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, fingertips to sky. Exhale, we're just going to fold this time. Again, we're going to step that right foot back. Come into that grounded knee. And pause. You can flatten out your foot, or you can tuck your toes this time. It doesn't matter. Knee and ankle do need to be in alignment though. We're going to come back into that kneeling position. Make sure that you're steady, strengthen your legs. Left fingertips are going to go towards the floor. Right fingertips are going to go toward the ceiling here. And then we're just going to side bend over to the left. So you want to try and keep everything in alignment here as you're just, it's like you're reaching your left fingertips to the floor. They're probably not going to reach. Mine don't. But you should feel a stretch on that right side as you move into the side body stretch. Awesome. Come back up to center, releasing that right hand down. Coming into your half splits again. So left toes are pointed toward the ceiling. We're going to inhale our fingertips up to the sky. And if you have the room, we're going to bring both hands on the outside of that left foot. So over here. Stop. So both hands are on, even though you can't see because Bo's in the way. Bo, no. Stop. If you have the room and you want to start to release your bum towards your heels, you can do that. But notice how the sensation changes in your hips as you're here with your hands on the inside, or the outside, excuse me, of that left foot. And you can just kind of change the direction. Notice where the stretch changes as you place your hands in different positions here. Awesome. Toes are pointed toward the ceiling. We're keeping them active. Then bringing that right hand on the inside of your left foot, pausing here, coming back into your low lunge, rolling off of your right knee and pointing your toe to the ceiling, your right toe. And we talked about, we do this a lot of times. You can reach back with one foot. Maybe after doing all this leg work, you come up and maybe you reach back with both hands, pulling your heel towards your bum. Really opening up through your shoulders, shoulder blades start to move towards each other, keeping your core engaged, really getting a quad stretch. And without slingshotting that leg, releasing your foot down to the ground, releasing your hands down to the ground. Awesome. Tucking your right toes, stepping that right foot up to meet your left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Go ahead and come all the way up, bringing your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, you're going to fold again. This time stepping that left leg back, coming into a low lunge on this side. Pausing here. And breathe. Check in your ankle and your knee. Go ahead and rise all the way up. This time, left fingertips come to the sky. Right fingertips go down to the floor. You should already probably be able to feel this in your left leg. And then we're just going to side bend over. Left fingertips go to the right. Awesome. Come back to the midline. Left hand comes down by the side. You're going to come into that half splits on your right leg. Hands go up to the sky, and then we're going to bring them on the outside of your right foot or your right leg. And again, you can play with a position where you're getting sensation. You have control of how much. Notice how instead of just going forward, how that changes the stretch, and it's almost turns into like an IT band stretch as well. And you can always back out of this a little bit. If it's really intense, then just use your best judgment, because you know your body better than anyone. Again, you can start to move your bum towards your heel a bit if you'd like. We'll be here just another moment. Bring that left hand on the inside of your right foot. Coming back into your low lunge. Pointing your left toe to the ceiling this time. You always have the option of staying here. You can reach back for that left foot, maybe with both hands, making sure you've got balance. Sometimes it's a process. And then start to pull that heel towards your bum here. And breathe. Nice quadricep stretch here. Again, without slingshotting the leg, you're going to release that foot. Bringing your hands down, tucking your left toe. And then we're going to come into a wide leg straddle. So you're just going to come into wide legs, toes are pointing forward. My toes are pointing towards both. And then release into a forward fold here. And you can play with where you put your weight. You can, rock a little bit through your toes and your heels. Notice where you feel the most sensation, where you're having to stabilize yourself. And then just walk your hands behind you. You need to take your feet a little bit wider. That's okay. And breathe. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. You might want to heel toe your feet just a tiny bit. Toes are going to face out. Find a slight bend in your knees, and then we're going to roll all the way up into our goddess pose. And you can just start to move. Maybe you lift your toes. Bringing your hands to the top of your thighs. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into the pose. And then we're just going to bring our right shoulder toward the center. And then our left. Come back into the center, pause. See if you can move a little bit more deeply into this squat. Right shoulder comes in toward the center. And then left shoulder back to the center. Go ahead and slowly rise back up. Again, toes are going to point towards the front of the room. You can take your feet a little bit wider. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, forward fold. You can take your right hand in the center of the mat. You're going to bring your left fingertips up toward the ceiling or the sky. If you want to stay here, stay here. You can drop that left hand down. Maybe you touch your right thigh and start to open up your chest toward the ceiling. Left fingertips go back up to the sky, and we're just going to trade out our hands. So left hand to the mat, right fingertips up toward the ceiling. And breathe. Again, you can drop that arm behind, maybe touch the top of your left thigh. Maybe you open up your chest toward the ceiling. Again, right fingertips come to the sky, back down to the mat. One more forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Go ahead and heel to your feet closer together. We'll take one little Malasana or low squat, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe you come all the way down, dropping your hips or your bum toward the floor, using your elbows to push your thighs away, and then start to open up your chest. Maybe you're a little higher off the ground, and that's okay too. And then wherever you're at, just bring your hands down behind you. Release down to your bum. We're going to come all the way down to our backs. Bringing your knees into your chest. Giving yourself a squeeze here. Awesome. Left leg's going to come to the floor for a moment. Right leg, right ankle is going to cross over. And just start to open up that thigh by pressing your thigh away. Your right hand, right thigh. And then lifting that left leg off the ground. You can stay here. You can start to maybe cross your legs, bringing your hands on the outside of your left leg. It's going to intensify this hip stretch. And then just bringing both knees in towards your chest. Just depends on what you want today. You can find some stillness. You can find a little bit of movement here. And just breathe. Awesome. Releasing your legs, keeping them crossed. We're going to take our hips over to the right a little bit and then drop your knees over to the left for a twist. Your arms can be extended or one arm can be extended. You want to try to keep your shoulders on the ground. And just breathe here. Again, a moment to notice what's happening in your body, what sensations come up for you. And then slowly we'll untwist. Right foot comes to the ground, left ankle crosses over the right thigh. Again, you can take your left hand and just gently push that leg away. Lifting your right foot off the ground, you can start to cross your legs a bit. Interlace your fingers over the top of that leg, like this. And then bring your knees into your chest. If you're able to, if not, just stay in one of the other variations. Notice how it intensifies the stretch here. Maybe you don't want that today, and that's okay. Some days are like that. Nice. Releasing that bind, keeping your legs crossed. Hips go over to the left this time, and then we're going to just drop our knees over to the right. However you want your arms to be, out like a T. Or like me, kind of staggered. Trying to relax your shoulders towards the ground. Whatever position that works for you best. And breathe. Gently coming back to the center, bringing your knees into your chest again. We'll come into half baby or happy baby. So you can bring your hands to your outsides of your feet. If that doesn't work, your thighs. Again, just giving yourself, your lower back or your entire back, a little bit of a massage as we're here. Continuing to breathe. Nice. And then just extend your feet towards the ceiling, keeping your toes flexed, giving your heart a bit of a break as we're coming into an inversion, just a quick inversion. You can always take your hands behind your thighs if you want, create some tension. Take the next few moments to focus on your breath. Again, you can bring your knees into your chest, you can roll up to a seated position. Awesome. Just a few neck rolls in both directions to round out the practice. Pausing where you think you might need to, or where your body is telling you that you need to. All right. Inhale, bringing your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, rolling down your back. Great. Well, thanks guys for joining me again for another Thursday. I hope you enjoyed Bo's antics here. Wasn't too bad. He's a pretty good boy. Hopefully I will see you on here next week. I'll be here Tuesday and Thursday, and I look forward to it. Thanks guys. Have a great day.